Hey everyone, it's Rachel, Oracle Spiritual Healer and Teacher. And today we're going to look at the week of March 31st. We are just coming off of our new moon or through our new moon and partial solar eclipse. So you may still be feeling um, the energy of that and the switch um, from that energetically. Um, yeah. So let's see what wants to be shared with us for this week and what's coming through energetically for all of us. The first card, transformation. This is our ongoing theme. We are in a time of immense transformation. It continues into this week, and if you've watched my video on the new moon, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I will put a link in the description so that you can watch it. But the changes are continuing. They're not going to go away anytime soon. This is happening on an individual level. So, your own personal transformations, your own perceptions, perspectives, things being released, new thoughts, new energy coming in, um, new relationships forming. That may look or feel different than relationships you've had before. And that's part of the transformation, right? You're bringing in new sort of experiences with that. And how that affects us collectively is that we're all moving forward. We're all progressing into a new way of being, a new way of interacting with each other, new sort of ways of collaborating. And on the surface, it's not necessarily new, but energetically, how it feels is different. The end product, the end result is different. The circumstances are different. So remember, change occurs or transformation occurs in many ways. It can be subtle and it can be really sort of chaotic and dramatic. So just noticing how it's occurring in your own life. On a global scale, that's pretty obvious because that's where a lot of the sort of chaos and drama exist as the sort of global representations of the transformation taking place. Okay, what else? Guiding children. This has to do with literal children. And I was checking to see if this had to do with the inner child. No, this is about really, the children right now, whether you have children or not. Um, and the next generation, what they're going through, what they're going to be left with, how they're experiencing the world. And the younger people, I would say 12 and under, is how they're putting it. Uh, it's like they really want to be nurtured at this time, as much family time as they can have. Really important, as much connection and sense of love. Um, and again, the nourishment, the encouragement, the we're here, we have you. Really important for their development because they're sort of ushering in this new level of the heart space, that unconditional love. So the heart space, the heart chakra, this energy here that we all have, for some of us, it's more open. For others, it's more closed. And, we are where we are. But that group is ushering in a new sort of expression of the heart space and the unconditional connectivity to all people. That's how they're putting it, all people. And, really it extends beyond people, but that's not what they're talking about. They're really specifically talking about people, humanity, our connection to each other. And that'll correlate or correspond into other sorts of awareness around connection to, animals and nature. But they're specifically bringing in this new connection around other people, whether they look the same, have the same thoughts, the same identity, same sort of spirituality or religion. It doesn't matter. And that's general, because there'll always be outliers to that. Souls working through different things, but generally speaking, those that are 12 and under are bringing in that. And so we really want to nourish them as much as possible right now. Okay. Abundance, prosperity. I always like when I get that card. um, Even if I'm not feeling that way, it's a reminder that it's around us all the time. So let me see what they want to say about abundance and prosperity. Yeah, this is in regards to, it's connected with the kids, our families, whether it's our blood family or our chosen family. The amount of support we have there, love we have there, of connection, of like energy exchange, and that we feel held energetically and emotionally from the people that we call family, and really recognizing that, preserving that, putting more energy and intention behind it, so growing that connection, that awareness of the abundance that exists there. um, and what I'll say is, during times of transformation, of chaos, of instability, or what can feel like instability, you know, connections and relationships will help stabilize us internally. It'll help keep us on course and not feel overwhelmed, or not feel like there are no solutions, or like that everything's, gonna turn into a disaster. So that's specifically what that abundance card is. And they want me to switch decks now. Okay. Reflection. So let's see. Yeah, they're speaking about, so to sort of revert back to what I was um channeling the other day around this new moon. New leadership, new opportunities, new ideas coming through. For some of us, it'll still be a time of reflecting on the past. Um, it's like finalizing things, emotions, thoughts, experiences from our past, which could feel like, for some of us, that we're becoming a new person, because our perspectives are changing, our energy is changing, our belief systems, some of them have dropped away, and we're having sort of a new sort of, way of looking at the world. For some of us, taking time to be in this reflective space. Actually, they're saying for most of us. If you've been doing it, to continue to do it, because the reflection brings more clarity, and with that clarity, we can take better action forward. So, and there'll be others that are sort of ready to move and act. Clarity comes at different times for all of us, and there's different levels of clarity. So, um, in my opinion, you can never be too clear. You can never be too clear. So, whatever practices that work well for you to gain that clarity, continue that this week. Last card, freedom. This is what we all want. This is our birthright. This is a part of being here on earth, is that we get to decide how much freedom we have and what that actually looks like, and that no one else gets to decide for us. And that's a mistake we've made. Mistake's not the right word. That's a lesson we've had to learn for some of us. Um, and I've talked about this before, giving our power away to somebody else, whether it's an individual, an entity, a government, um, and and realizing that we can take care of ourselves, we can make decisions for ourselves, that yeah, that we're not under somebody else. So this freedom is coming back. And this again, this is going to be a multi-step process of rediscovering what that means, what that feels like, what actual freedom is. And not oppression. Oppression and force and overpowering other people is not freedom. Um, Having someone else make decisions for you is not freedom. That could be, you know, again, on a sort of smaller level, someone in your family or your spouse or significant other. And then it can go all the way up to, sort of government level. Um, but the reclaiming of our freedom is a part of the cycle. We're talking about it this week specifically. So there's probably going to be some things coming up that we'll hear about on the news that have to do with this this sense of freedom or lack of. But what I see is, again, this being a multi-step process, multi-year process of reclaiming our freedom, for us remembering or reforming our ideas and beliefs around freedom, and then implementing, taking the steps towards manifesting that, actualizing that. So, um, potent week. We've had many potent weeks, many potent months lately. And again, this is just what happens in times of transformation. And it's going to continue to be like this. And again, it's important that we find our center so that we can ride these waves, so we can maneuver around obstacles, not being, you know, interrupted or what's the right word? Not being rattled. There it is. Not being rattled from within, right? That we can ride these waves of chaos and transformation and change, um, and come out on the other side joyful and experience it in a joyful way, and tapping into your inner knowing and your inner wisdom of what's happening, right? It doesn't matter what I say or what anyone else says. Listening to your own intuition, however it comes through for you, is the most important thing. Following your own guidance. But to hear that intuition, to hear that guidance, we must be calm within. We must be calm. So, thank you for watching this. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so and liking this video. It truly does mean a lot to me, as I'm doing this for you all to share what I can with you. And I know for content creators in general, it's very helpful. So, thank you.